that, guys. Okay, everybody, we are recording. Welcome to our core nutrition. You can see here the Love Your Life Healthy Nutrition chat, and this is also Healthy Families Back to School chat. We're going to add some things in there tonight that may be useful to you if you have kids or grandchildren in your life. And you can see, this is the first time I'm really showing all these slides, so they're newer. The company has some beautiful presentations and slides that I like to use from Shaklee, so I'm kind of tapping into that and kind of adapted them a little bit. But, one of the things, I love, this because it kind of shows you how, when we're feeling our optimal health, our best health, optimal nutrition and all that, we can really be, living our best life and really we can, start to make some changes within 30 days, many people feel, and some of the things that we're going to talk about today will kind of lead into that. So we're going to talk about, good nutrition. This is a topic that I'm really passionate about. Some of you are familiar with the Healthy Cleanse that our group leads. We have another one starting here on the 9th of September, but we're going to have these pretty regularly. So if you are, wanting to get some information on that, we go hardcore into nutrition and, good foods, not so great foods, foods to be in moderation, things like that, and kind of educate more on that area. So that would be an area that you might want to tap into. Tonight, we're going to kind of scratch the surface. So, as you can see here, did you know that less than 1 in 10 Americans get the daily recommended value for one or more of vitamins and minerals in their diet? So it's really hard nowadays to get what we need from our food alone. And at least 1 in 4 Americans eat some type of fast food every single day. 20% of all American meals are eaten in the car. And I know, we have young kids and we are on the go a lot. So I get that. I try to pack those meals so they're not, grab through the drive-through and go. But I get that. We're in a fast food, fast-paced world. And there has been up to a 38% decline in the nutrient content of crops. So, a lot of times food is picked before it's ripe, shipped all around the world, and, everybody wants to buy that perfect looking tomato or the perfect looking apple, and it may look perfect, but have you ever, bought an apple or something like that, or tomato or something like that from the grocery store that looks so beautiful and pretty, and then you bite into it, it has like hardly any flavor at all? And that's a lot of times because they are picked before they're ripe. They're sprayed down to look so pretty, but they're missing the nutrition that we might think is in there. Even an organic choice, sometimes that might be the case. Okay, so did you also know that 52% of Americans believe that doing their taxes is easier than eating healthy? And, eating healthy for a lot of people is just sometimes a daunting thing. There's so many different, quote unquote diets out there, and people are blasting social media with, different choices and different things that people are selling and what they're doing and challenges. And it's like, oh my gosh, where do I start? And sometimes it's easier to just kind of go for convenience. And also, I had a conversation with the checker at our local grocery store the other day. We were talking about some of the things I was purchasing, and we were talking about nutrition. It was really interesting. And he said, I think that it's hard for people who are on lower incomes to eat healthy. And he's absolutely right. It's not impossible. There are choices, but a lot of times it requires cooking, and it often requires that and spending more time, meal prepping and preparing ahead of time. And I don't know about you, but when I'm hungry, it's easy to go for the junk, which I really, truly try to keep out of my house because I have a weakness for, going for the sugary or even the salty things if I'm hungry and they're in the house. So that's one of my big tips is, just don't even buy it. Go to the grocery store when you are have just eaten a meal, because you're not going to be more likely to grab the impulse buys that really often are more expensive when you look at the price tags on those. So making healthier food choices every single day can be really hard to really fill in those gaps. My family chooses to fill in with some really good quality supplements. And, I think you all probably know that. And I'm going to talk about that and kind of hit on that today. And with the hope that maybe there's some things that you could take away tonight that would help the overall health with your family, both, every age group, including children, but not limited to kids. It's going to be everywhere because not just kids are the ones that need the extra nutrition or maybe are the picky eaters in your family. I don't know. Okay, so with Shaklee, and I'm going to talk about the company a little bit in a few slides from now, but I love this because we just came back from our Shaklee Global Conference in Las Vegas a few weeks ago, and they've rolled out this really easy way, because if you've been with Shaklee in any fashion, you might find that our catalog can be a little overwhelming, or our website can be a little overwhelming, because we do have a huge variety of products, not just supplements. We have a lot of different categories of products, and so it can be really overwhelming. Just like if you've ever gone to the health food store, or the supermarket, or Target, and gone to the healthy area or the vitamin aisle, it can be very overwhelming because there are so many brands and so many choices, and what the heck do you choose, right? Well, Shaklee has really made that easy, and working with us, we can help you, kind of figure out a plan to help you to fill in those gaps, what we might be lacking from food. If you're lacking energy, if you're dealing with chronic different health issues, that could be often linked to diet, nutrition, exercise, things like that, taking care of our bodies. So this really helps to kind of fill things in. So getting started, as you can see, is easy as 1, 2, 3. We have step 1, the building blocks for life. Step 2, the target solutions, and step 3, product boost, which I'm going to talk about those. And that equals your personalized health plan. So just giving you a little bit of background if you're not familiar with the company. I love this slide. If you've ever heard me talk on any of these, I talk about this a little bit because I'm proud of this. I partnered with Shaklee 8 years ago. It's a company that I grew up with. My parents found the company in the mid-1970s, before I was born, when my mother was having some pretty significant health issues. And so this is our timeline. Over 100 years of innovation. And, if you've ever taken a vitamin, or you take a vitamin now, Shaklee or otherwise, or a protein powder, you can really thank Dr. Shaklee for paving that way. He was the biochemist and scientist that started the company. He's actually attributed to the very first multivitamin in the United States back in 1915. You can see that on the far left corner of your screen. He made the first protein powder, like I said, in 1961, also our first biodegradable cleaning product in 1960, and so on. The company has always been paving the way, leading in the innovation, the science, the integrity, because what I've learned over the years, especially from my husband, who he's a research scientist at the university here, working with dietary supplements and natural products, and not all supplements are created equal. Things that you might see at a health food store, or really with a high price tag, may not have what it says on the label in the bottle. There could be a lot of fillers, binders, things that our body doesn't know what to do with, that could be questionable, that could actually be harmful to the body. So you want to make sure that you're choosing products and supplements that and protein that have that science and integrity behind it. And Shaklee's always had that. We have the clinical proof that you can live younger longer, right? Who wouldn't want that? As we age, people want to age, but we don't want to feel unhealthy and sick and have people having to take care of us, and having all these medications that we're on. We want to live younger longer, and we have some really great science that backs up why our products help people, and showing how our products help people to do that. We have the Landmark study, and now the Landmark 2 that's coming out soon, as well as the telomere study. And you can see here at the top that with the Landmark study, comparing people that were using Shaklee products for over 20 years versus people who took no supplements at all, versus people that took a multivitamin from another company, had lower levels of cholesterol, triglycerides, levels of homocysteine, C-reactive protein, the heart health, the brain health, those biomarkers, biological stress, were all better with the Shaklee group. And with the telomere study, as a preliminary study, showed that 40%, there was a 40% lower rate of telomere shortening in the Shaklee group. And telomeres, if you're not familiar, are those little end caps on our DNA. They can indicate longevity, but overall quality of life and health. And you can see here that an 80-year-old Shaklee supplement user is projected to have the same telomere length as a 41-year-old healthy person that's not using Shaklee. I just want to backtrack a little bit on the slides. I showed you this to show how we want to fill in the gaps with good supplements. This is what you would need to eat every single day to find what's in our Vitalizer strip, which I'm going to talk about soon. That came out of this Landmark study that we're going to get to, or that we just talked about. And Dr. Elizabeth Blackburn is, she's a Nobel Prize winner in medicine, and she is the one that's attributed to the research and the findings on telomeres. She's on our scientific advisory board, and she says here that the Shaklee population is remarkably healthier than the general population, as shown by 2 studies, the Landmark study on long-term nutritional supplement users and on the telomere study. I like to show that because it's like, why would I choose Shaklee? Why wouldn't I just go to XYZ store and buy, something cheap or even expensive? As a consumer, what am I looking for? Science. That's what you're looking for. That's what, I always tell people, call the companies, find the science. If they don't give it to you, I would question it. And I should also mention that we have 138 publications. Most of them are in peer-reviewed journals. So it's really good stuff. Okay, moving on. So developing your own personalized health plan. We have steps 1, 2, and 3, like I said. Step 1 is choosing your multivitamin option. We have a few of those, and a good protein, which is the building block of all cells in the body. Step 2 is if you need to, choose a target solution. We're going to talk about some of those. And step 3, perhaps you need an extra boost of a vitamin or a mineral, and we're going to talk about that a little bit in a second. So you can see here, the building blocks of life. Feel amazing in 30 days. Change or create the foundation for a longer, healthier life for you. And so let's talk about step 1, our multi plus the protein. This is the vitalizer. That is that beautiful picture that I showed with all the fruits and vegetables. You would have to eat all of that organically to get what you get in the single serving strip of the vitalizer vitamins. It's very complete. It's based on 12 clinical studies as well as the landmark study, and it's just a really, really, really great choice for most people. We have a women's version, a men's version, and Vitalizer Gold is for people 50 and over. It's also has the smart delivery, so everything in the strip gets to be where it needs to be in the body for optimal benefit before it breaks down. Really, really great choice. And for kids, because I want to talk about kids' health, a lot of people, I'm seeing, it's so funny because my friends in Wisconsin are posting their back to school pictures this week, and I feel like we've been in school here in Mississippi for ages. We started about a month ago, and so we're in full swing, whereas my northern friends are just getting going. So, back to school health, but we are at the beginning stages of school, and more and more people are getting sick. You hear that people are, my kids are at the doctor already, flu, I'm starting to hear a buzz about that and in different parts of the country. And it's just, for children, because they're so, they share everything at school, from everything, pencils to snacks to everything else, and they're, maybe not the best with hand washing. It's easier for them to be passing those little germs around as they're spending all those hours with their friends in close proximity. So you can see here, the Incredivites is a children's multi-chewable vitamin that my kids, who are ages right now 8 and 9, very soon to be 8 and 10. And so this is the first of its kind chewable multivitamin that has lactoferrin. I didn't know what that was until I started doing all this. So I'll tell you if you're not familiar. Lactoferrin is the immune booster found in breast milk. And there is some good evidence that you may have heard about breastfeeding if moms are able to. Not all moms can, but if you're able to, that gives a lot of those good immune properties to your child or to your baby. And we have components of that in our Incredivites, which really helps to keep the immune system supercharged. 23 essential nutrients, which helps with growth and development. 600 IUs of vitamin D and D3, and that's really important as we're heading towards darker days, fall than winter, where the sun's further away. This, of course, helps with strong bones, teeth. It helps with mood. There's so many things, immune health, that it helps with. Very safe. There's a lot of kids' vitamins out there that have artificial stuff in them that really is not good for kids, especially there's on the rise with hyperactivity and different things like that children are, ADHD and such, that they're having issues with. And there are ingredients in kids' vitamins, even the #1 pediatrician approved, whatever that stamp is on some of those popular ones, that you really want to be aware as a parent and really read labels. So with Shaklee's, it's naturally sweetened with xylitol, which is a natural sweetener that has been shown clinically to prevent tooth decay. Also, it has no artificial flavors, sweeteners, preservatives, and it is also gluten-free for people that are looking for that. They're berry tasting or flavored, and my kids really like them. And this is just another picture of a pack that we have available. I wanted to just touch on our Mighty Smart Choice, which is one of the options for an omega supplement for kids, which has been shown also to help with attention, focus, things like that, which many children are kind of struggling with a lot. So even adults struggle with this. So, taking in a good omega-3 fatty acid, DHA. We also have one that has DHA and EPA in it. So those are really great for brain health and development. And of course, adding on chewable vitamin C, this is a staple in our house. I grew up with this product, so it's like going back to my home. When I have a chewable vitamin C, they're a little tart, and my kids really like them, and they like to suck on them. and they're just a really great support right now for this time of year, giving a little extra boost, and this can be for an adult as well. Okay, so I want to add on about the protein shakes. My children also take a protein shake in the morning. I make a big family shake, and I'll throw greens in there and fruit, and I put the protein powder in, and I call it a family shake. So I'll make a huge amount of it, and that's my breakfast because I'm busy on the go mom, and it keeps me energized, keeps me healthy, keeps me just even, and I can take it on drop-offs around the schools that we go to in the mornings. My kids, I give them a couple ounces of this just to get some extra protein, plant-based protein in their bodies. They're growing. It's the building block of all cells in the body. It has vitamins and minerals in it. It's just really, really a great choice. And my husband also has some with his breakfast as well. As you can see, this is our new Life Shake, by the way. If you're familiar with Shaklee, this one just came out a couple weeks ago. It's new and improved. It has increased protein, so 20 grams of protein, 0 added sugar, which is new, cholesterol-free, 6 grams of fiber, 23 vitamins, minerals, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, dairy-free, and a really great source of omega-3s as well. And so we have a plant-based option, and we also have a soy option, and we have a stevia-free option that's coming very soon, so stay tuned on that. But this is just a really, really great choice for on the go or just supplementing meals. So we have different flavors in the soy option: vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, cafe latte. In the plant-based option, we have chocolate and vanilla, and they're just wonderful additions to our lives. I love them. Making choices, but making better choices is easier. So you can see here how they're comparing with Starbucks. And I know a lot of people that are really, they need their Starbucks. I get that. There's just something about Starbucks that people love. But you can see here comparing the classic coffee, cake, and almond milk latte, 16 ounces. I've never had it, but you can see they're comparing it with our plant-based protein, which is a 10-ounce drink with cold water and the protein. And so you can see the differences. 8 ounces of protein versus 20 in the Shaklee. 36 grams of sugar, that's a lot, guys, in the Starbucks versus less than 1 in the Shaklee. 490 calories in the drink that you're getting from Starbucks versus 140 from the Shaklee. 22 grams of fat versus 3.5. Sodium is high, 560 versus 320. 66 carbs versus our 10. And a lot of times this is what it comes down to for people. $6.90 at Starbucks and $2.58 with Shaklee's. Now, I will say I don't know any inside information, but it's getting to be pumpkin season. And a lot of people love, I know that I've never actually had it, the Starbucks pumpkin spice, whatever they have. People love it. I know that. But Shaklee also has a seasonal protein that has in the past, the last couple of years, come out around this time of year. So stay tuned. I really don't have any inside information. But that cuts all the extras that you don't need from Starbucks with still a really, really delicious pumpkin taste. So if you like that, be on the lookout. Okay, sorry, skip the slide. We also have some Target solutions. So this is step 2, where we have our healthy, different things. People might be looking for help with memory and focus. They might be looking for a good probiotic and digestive health, extra help with heart health, joints, bone, pain relief, mood, stress, sleep, energy, eye health. There's so many different areas that I'm just scratching the surface here. Immune health. There's so many. This is one of them. That is our anti-aging supplement called Vivix that was part of that telomere study that I talked about. Really great supplement to slow aging at the cellular level. And it's just a really fantastic supplement made from the muscadine grape. Some of our more, our Target solutions that I had in the other picture, you can see them a little bit bigger here: immunity, probiotic, mind. And then I want to come back to the children's, and I'm going to ask my friend Trisha, who's on our team, to share in a second here. She shared a really great little testimony about what's happening in her family, but I'm just going to kind of talk through this slide real quickly. For kids' health and being back to school, these are some really great staples to have in your natural medicine cabinet. I've talked about the Incredivites. I've talked about the Chewable C. I've talked about the Mighty Smarts Omega Chew. I have not talked about this guy yet, and I want to make sure I do. This is our Vitalized Immunity, which is as needed. It's kind of like a natural airborne, really jam-packed with a lot of vitamin C, antioxidants. It's a tablet that makes a fizzy drink, and it's just like an orange fizzy drink that you drink. When I feel a little tickle in my throat, I have this maybe 2 or 3 times a day for a couple days, and it usually knocks it right out. The other one I like to keep on hand is Defend and Resist. This is our echinacea. So very first sign of that cold coming on, take this and take it as directed. It's a great elderberry type supplement that really has been shown when you take it at the very, very beginning stages of a cold or something coming on, it's very, very effective. So these are some back to school fighters. Now you kind of see some pricing there and how inexpensive this can be for nutritional insurance. And I'll tell you, I appreciate not having to go into the doctor's office. You know, I work from home, so I'm not taking time out from work, but I know parents who work, and it's a hardship for them to have to take time out from work, take children to the pediatrician, and then perhaps keep them home for, you know, a period of time so they can recover if they've, you know, had anything contagious. So this is well worth that nutritional insurance for me to keep my kids in school, keep them learning, keep me, you know, focused on what I need to be, you know, focused on, and not having to deal with, you know, sick kids all the time, which is what a lot of families do. I know that. Now, my kids do catch colds. You know, Shaklee's not bulletproof. However, I will say that since Shaklee's been in our lives, the kids will have a cold, and it usually comes and goes and does not turn into anything more than a couple days of, you know, sniffle, cough kind of thing, and then it's done. But I wanted to ask Trisha to, if you don't mind unmuting, Trisha, or I can unmute you here. I got you, I think. No, maybe not. Can you unmute yourself? There you go. Trisha and I talked yesterday, and she shared a little bit since her family started using Shaklee in about November or December, what's happened with her children. Do you want to share a little bit, Trisha?
Sure, Rebecca. Actually, I think I got the boys. We started on the Shaklee, my husband and I first, and then I got the kids taking their vitamins in probably this spring, and they were just taking chewable. I mean, the gummies, the Flintstones, and something from GNC, just basic. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to switch them over to Shaklee too. And I was telling Rebecca that this is the first start of the school year in about 3 years that we haven't been at the doctor's office. It's like routine. You know, they're in school for a week, the first month, bam, we're at urgent care waiting for 2 hours because you can never get in to see your pediatrician for something basic, you know. So it's like, I hear you, you know, it's so worth the little extra investment. And it's not really even, I was buying them separate bottles of gummies for their ages, and they can both now take the Vitally without iron. So I just buy one bottle for both of them, and it's been great, you know, and I think now they see that this is helping to keep them healthy, and they kind of ask for their vitamins. It's like they don't put up a fuss about taking them anymore because they see people at school sick and they know what's going around and they're okay. So it's definitely been such a great thing. So
yeah.
Thank you, Shaklee.
Yeah, no, and thanks for sharing that. So can you tell everybody how old your kids are?
Well, my oldest is going to be 15 on Sunday. So, and my youngest is going to be 12 in October. So yeah, 12 and 15.
Yeah. And so I wanted you to mention that too, because Trisha's kids are in that, you know, kind of preteen teenage years. So she mentioned the Vitally, which is our basic multivitamin that adults or teenagers or, you know, people in her kids, you know, are big enough to be able to take that and transition. They're old enough, of course, to transition out of the Incredivites Kids vitamin, which ends around age 11, 12. And so she's started them on the regular multivitamin. So I think that's really fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Trisha. And so for any of you, even if you don't have children in your life, it might be something to pass on to people that you know that might be, you know, dealing with chronic, you know, stuff. Now, as an adult, before Shaklee, I had this period of time where I was not using Shaklee, and I would get repeated sinus infections around, you know, a little bit later this time of year into the winter, repeatedly in urgent care or in the doctor's office and on medication. Then I would get off the medication. I'd be better for a week or two, and then it would come back. And I just thought, well, this is just normal. This is just life. And I think so many people feel that way, that it's back to school, we get sick, or it's winter, we're going to, you know, get sick, you know, and it doesn't have to be that way. So thanks for sharing that, Trisha. Okay, so moving on to the third area, sometimes, not everybody, but sometimes people need a little extra boost. And you can see here some of the examples here. You know, vitamin B is great for mood, stress, energy. I highly recommend this if you have any kind of stress, energy, or stress, anxiety in your life, which most people do. I mean, we're in a busy time, multitasking, all that, especially if you have kids. And this is a great vitamin for that. We have a B complex. Vitamin C this time of year is great. Vitamin D3 this time of year is really great. I'm not going to go through all these. The G is garlic, though. That's another great one for immune boosting. The I is our immunity booster. I mean, we have so much. M is for memory. The Z is zinc, which is also great for immunity. We have a lot of different things depending on people's needs. So they're there for people to kind of, put their personalized plan together. Here's a few of our popular ones. And if you're still like, oh my goodness, I don't know where to start, that's a lot of information. That's okay, because tonight we're just scratching the surface. So I encourage you to talk to, whoever invited you today, or to listen to the video if you're listening to the recording. Now here you can see that you can find your perfect nutrition plan, and that is through our Health Print survey. This is something that came out a couple of years ago. My husband was actually part of the team to develop this, and it takes 5 minutes, and it's 20 questions, and it's free. And at the end, you will be emailed your personalized health plan. And it has some recommendations at the end based on what you filled out for your health goals and what your needs are. And you can customize that for you. But right now, we've had this opportunity for people to get a free Shaklee product. And it's a really, depending on your goals, your health plan, it's catered to you. And so that's kind of nice. And it's also a really nice, value of a product. There's a variety of them. So talk to the person about getting that link. And even if you've taken Health Print in the past and never gotten your free product, you still can do that, or just take the Health Print again to see, how your results may have changed. And you can see here, I know the font's a little bit small, but you can just see a few quotes here. This is my friend Becky. She lives in Indiana. She's actually a naturopath, and she says that life shakes are the perfect fuel for everyone in our home. My athletic teenagers are getting the protein they need to build muscle and stay healthy. Becky, I don't think would be, shy about for me to share this. She has, I think, 5 or 6 children, and I believe that 3 or 4 of them are on the autism spectrum. So they've had some, serious challenges in their family health-wise. And I know that she really has found that Shaklee has been a nice vehicle to help her kids with some of the challenges that they face health-wise. And then there's Donna, who has been a Shaklee family member since 1968. Not a typo. Shaklee products transform my life. I either run, swim, spin, or golf 6 days a week with ease, and I feel great. And then here's Mark Kelly from NASA. We got to hear him and his brother at our conference a few years ago. And he says that, being in space is one of the most arduous physical experiences the human body can endure. It's important to have a daily regimen that helps maintain good health. Both my brother and I took Shaklee Vitalizer with us, and that is with us into space. I think this is a really cool picture with the Vitalizer floating next to him in space. So a little bit more about the company. For those of you who are not familiar, Shaklee is a company that pioneered the supplement industry, like I said, with the multivitamin invention of over 100 years ago. The first company to fully offset carbon emissions as to leave no footprint on the earth, so we really walk that talk. Planted more than 1 million trees around the world with Dr. Wangari Maathai, winner of the Nobel Peace Prize for the Environment. Shaklee is the leading natural nutrition company in the United States. We became a corporation in 1956, so it's been around for quite a while. And here's just to give you an overview of some of the things. We have the nutrition that we're talking about tonight, healthy weights, healthy beauty with our youth products. So we just added to that line recently. It's beautiful, beautiful line for skincare. And also our healthy home with our green cleaning products. Fantastic. So with the Shaklee difference, again, why would I choose Shaklee? The products are always safe. We screen for over 350 contaminants, pesticides, impurities on every botanical ingredient, 3 times more than the United States Pharmacopoeia. We conduct over 100,000 quality tests per year, far beyond the requirements of any regulatory agency, and never had a questionable result in the quality testing in over 100 years. That's unique. And then we're also proven by science with 100 patents and patents pending. The clinical studies I talked about, proven by people. Millions of customers have lived healthier lives with Shaklee. NASA, like I mentioned, they've been on every space mission since 1993. Shaklee-powered athletes have won over 144 gold, silver, bronze medals. We get to hear from our Olympians at conferences, which is always a treat. And I just like to always add in a little bit more about the second aspect of Shaklee, because I used to not do this in the beginning, thinking, well, I don't know if people would be interested in this. And now I've learned that people many times are interested, or they might know somebody who might be interested in what Shaklee as a business can do for you and your family. So I'm just going to touch on this. So bear with me for a couple more minutes. If this is not your cup of tea, again, you might want to jot down a name or two of somebody who might be looking for a second job, or about to put another child into college, or looking for retirement income, or just lost lost a position at their job or something like that. So this is my family. And my husband, David, is on the field science team at Shaklee. Like I said, he's a professor, a research scientist, all around smart guy, and a really good resource for me and my business. And our wonderful boys, Andrew and Benjamin. This business was never anything that I was looking for, and it's something that now I can't see not in my life. I was, prior to Shaklee, working a lot of hours as a private practice music therapist, which I absolutely love. I have a passion for music. I have a passion for helping people. I did not want to be out of the home once my kids came along, and I was trying to figure out what that looked like because I was changing a lot of diapers and feeding the kids and around little people all day, and I needed adult interaction. I still wanted to serve in a different way. Of course, serving in the home is my most important job, but I wanted to have some sort of balance of something else. And when Shaklee came back into my life and I started to see the possibilities of the business of doing this side by side, my babies at a play date, or, having an event where the kids can come and play and the moms and I can talk, or the dads or whatever, who's ever there. It was the perfect fit. It really was. And now it's taken some of the pressure off my husband. I'm able to pay for our kids' piano lessons and pay down debt. And I have a little bit of a bowling habit. Some of you know, I laugh because I've refound my love with bowling, and I pay for my league out of that and things like that. So, I have some fun money that I'm making on my own, but also things that are, taking that pressure off my husband, who is the breadwinner in our family. So, I have lots of reasons why I do this, and pictured here is my number one, so I can be home with my kids, be present to them, help serve in their classrooms and be on field trips and all of that, and still be able to, feed my want to serve other people and work a little bit, because I really do enjoy that. These are a couple other testimonies. This is my friend Harper and her beautiful family. And she says that the income from our Shaklee business has given us the gift of living an integrated life of faith, family, and business. We are able to do what we feel called to do, not what we have to do. And this business allows us to improve lives without compromising our values and priorities. And a mother-daughter team, Tiffany and Neri Vin. Neri is the mom in the glasses, if you're wondering. And she says that it's so much fun to see others experience growth or meet a goal, whether it's financial, health-wise, or even just being more fulfilled and content. I know I'm making a difference, and I'm proud to help others succeed. And her daughter, Tiffany, who is at Harvard, says, when my mom started her business in Shaklee, I could not see it for myself, but when I realized I could pay my own way through college while paving the way for income in my retirement years, that's incredible. So there really is something for everyone, and for all age groups and all, working people, work from home, everywhere in between. We have people of all different walks of life on our team, just represented here tonight, but also, on our team who's not here. And so there's something for everyone. The opportunity is flexible, it's simple, it's social, and it's mobile. With our mobile phones, it's so easy. With our smartphones, it's so easy to take our business on the go. We have a nice app that we can use, and it's just really easy to fit into the pockets of our day and our time. So you can just see here a little of an example of the income possibilities. Of course, what you put in is what you get back. And you can see here, starting at our first leadership rank of director, the average annual income is over $10,000. I was reading in Forbes magazine from a few years ago that I think it was 54% of Americans are going paycheck to paycheck and would not be able to cover a $500 emergency. And that could be your refrigerator breaking, or, that could be a lot of things, little things that add up to be $500, which a lot of people, that would be a huge stress. And this average income for a director is about $800 a month. So that could make a difference for somebody, perhaps somebody you know. And you can see how it goes up in the income ranks all the way up to our top rank of presidential master coordinator. And I kind of like to highlight around the executive coordinator rank, because for many people, this is career replacing income. Around $48,000 a year for many people would replace income and can be really comfortable. You can see on the far right that, you can work part-time hours or you can work big time hours. And again, what you put in is up to you. Now, our team has a lot of training and support for you. So if you are interested in any realm and just want to have a conversation about this, please reach out and we can, get you some information or just talk about it and see if this might be for you. We do have some really great specials on our business packs right now. So if you are interested, this might be a really nice time. So the last slide, how do you see yourself fitting in? So, with Shaklee, I don't have a slide on it, but some of you are familiar. We have our membership. If you're interested in any of the products that we talked about or getting your family healthier, we can talk about a detailed, plan that would just be for you, and you can how it would fit into your family, your budget, all of that. We have some great specials right now where you could become a member or a preferred member, which is basically like Sam's Club or Costco, where you always get 15% off of the retail price of Shaklee products. No annual fees, no minimum monthly requirements, no catch, basically, and some specials around that, the free product with health print and all that right now, some free shipping. There's some different great deals for you. And then for the business side, we have some packs and different ways that you can get involved. And then if somebody's kind of in between those two, we can talk about that as well. So please talk to the person that invited you tonight or to the recording, and we can talk more about it and get you set up with the way that would be best for you. So I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you all that are listening to the recording for being here. Oh, I stopped the